All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Gentlemen, in the road on the CSAP Sports Network. Steve, and I am joined tonight by none other than, that's right, we call him the Jockey Piper.
Well, I may not be able to kick your ass, but my sisters are can. Thanks, buddy. Little Sammy Sosa's a bit shook up, but she'll be okay.
And of course, we have, I can't really
Don't worry, you're not going to suffer any short-term memory loss.
Brandon Herrera, how's it going, Look Midwest?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right. And then we have, so we usually call him Sports Spotter here. That's what we normally call him. But tonight he decided to change his name. And James is a maggot. So, nugget dropping 20. Okay, Carter Spotter Jr. can't do that tonight. And then
Did you tell Lucy about this trip yet? Well, actually,
Dave?
I can't hear. Somebody's cutting out really bad. We got background interference from somewhere.
Yeah, so somebody is somebody's TV or something's loud here, so we got to figure that out. All right. So how's that?
Better.
All right.
All right. How's it going tonight? Okay. So before we jump into our topics, we got something special for you, and of course, you got to see it because we play it every week for you. Let's see if we can get her up here. Are you guys ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right. So, of course, our first topic that we always do is between the ropes. How about, hold on here, before we jump into our topics, how about we do a little bit of housekeeping? So, how about we jump into Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry? So, with Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, all products are lead and nickel free. All products are $5 for the ASAP Sports viewers, and you can get that at www.paparazziaccessories.com. The code on that is actually 160920. It's actually 24/7 shopping available. All right. So now, besides Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, let's talk a little bit about that Misty Meadows. So, Brandon, why don't you tell us a little bit about that Misty Meadows?
Yes, they are based out of Oregon. They do all their stuff homemade, from barbecue sauces to ketchups to hot sauces to jams and jellies. You can find them on Facebook at Misty Meadows, and they will deliver wherever you live. So enjoy.
All right. So with that, mess around. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you can win one of those free shirts?
You can win one of our awesome shirts by commenting on any of our shows, sharing and liking. And you could be entered to win to be the viewer of the month.
All right, so now let's say you can't hop on and comment, but you still want one of those awesome shirts. How can you get one of those awesome shirts?
You can reach out to anybody here on the network, get a hold of us, and put in an order. It'll cost you $14.95 plus shipping and handling, and we'll get it right to you ASAP.
I love it. I love it. All right. So as we know, our first topic of the night is Monday Night Raw. So Monday Night Raw this week was kind of interesting because there's really not a whole lot to break down as we saw. So Monday Night Raw, why don't you go ahead and give us the first match that happened on Monday Night Raw?
All right, the first match is The New Day versus The Miz and Morrison, with The New Day winning.
All right. So Dragon Viper, why don't you go ahead and kick us off and give us your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, my thoughts are, why are they still wrestling each other? I'm still gonna continue thinking that it's a boring match. I don't like all four of those guys. I was definitely glad the match was over. Not much to think about with me. So,
All right. How about Los Midwest? Go ahead and give us your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I'm with Viper. They need to move on. But I know with COVID and stuff, they're limited to who they bring in and stuff. But I'm with Viper. They need to move on. I'm kind of bored with them. Like the guys, like both teams, but if they're not going to move on with the storyline and put the in the title picture at all, then to me it's pointless. So.
All right. So how about Mr. Mess Around Off the Top Rope Dave? So why don't you go ahead and give us your breakdown of this match?
I like the match personally. You got all four guys really talented. They work well in the ring together. That little segment they did where they pretended to have their new talk show and making fun of the Miz and Morrison thing, that was awesome. I like the match. I thought it was good. Neither team really needed the win. Good match, but that's all I got to say about that one.
All right. How about Sarge?
Well, I think it was an okay match. I mean, instead of New Day Rocks, it's New Day Talks now after that. But I think no one benefit from this match. I don't understand why the Money in the Bank holder is losing matches. It's beyond me. But the match was solid. It was good, but it could have been better.
Woo. So, all right. So we're talking about the New Day versus Miz and Morrison here. Obviously, I do agree on the aspect that neither of them really need the win, perhaps because they're all up there in that tag team status. The Miz losing, well, I mean, he is going to lose some matches. He's not going to win every match. Just because he's the Money in the Bank winner doesn't mean he has to win every match. I want to know when he's going to cash in that briefcase. That's really what I'm wanting to see. I'm thinking it could happen at the Rumble, but I'll save that for later on some hot takes or whatever that we're going to do for that. I did like this match. They work well together. Me personally, I think the New Day is kind of starting to get overdone, and I think it's time for a split on the New Day. Yeah, that's generally how I feel right now. It was a very good match. I like the way that Kofi and Xavier work together. Even though it is time for that split, they're still talented. I'd like to see Kofi back in the main event picture, but that's for a whole nother time too. All right, Mess Around, go ahead and give us the next match of the night.
It's Dragon Viper.
Sorry, Dragon Viper.
Elias versus AJ Styles, with the winner being AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. I mean, come on. I think we all saw that coming. AJ Styles, of course, going to win that match. All right, so Mr. Brandon Herrera, how about you go ahead and give us your take on this match?
Yeah, I actually thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, AJ Styles is definitely one heck of a performer, like I stated earlier today, but we'll talk about that later. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. And I know they commented, but what did you guys think on the big guy getting in the ring so quick and kicking that guitar out of Ryder's hands? I mean, wow, he came out of nowhere. So, but yeah, we all knew AJ was going to win.
All right, Mess Around.
It's a good match. Two good wrestlers. You all know I like Elias. I think he's really extremely talented. They should do more with him. Yeah, this match, they need to end this little feud they got going on. It's getting old quick. But Almost, or whatever his name is, like Brandon said, that guy getting it as quick as he did. Shows that guy's got some talent. He's got speed. They need to let him in the ring and have some matches.
Oh, I think it's coming. Give it a little bit of time.
Yep.
And I will see it. I think that you'll see Protector versus Protector. I really think it's coming. Yep, I really think you will. You will see it. All right, Sarge.
I like the ending of it, like when Riker came out with the guitar and tried to blast Styles with it, but almost kicked it and then just got obliterated. I love that part. I thought it was a great match. I liked how Styles used he countered the electric chair into her Hurricanrana, and I thought that was awesome. I enjoyed the match. I like these two. They have great chemistry too.
Yeah, AJ Styles and Elias work well together. Or I should say, walk with Elias. Yes, so AJ Styles and Elias, excellent together. Imagine them being a tag team.
I was just going to say that, Ace.
Yes, that would be awesome to see
You
AJ
took my
Styles
word,
and Elias.
Ace.
Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to see him as a tag
Wow.
team. All right, does anybody have any final thoughts on this match?
Me.
All right, Dragon Viper.
I'm feeling invincible here. Invisible. Anyway, no,
You don't
my
count. Okay.
my take on this match was again it was predictable, but even being predictable, it was a really good match. I do see, Omos and AJ teaming up to go against Riker and Elias at one point, and even Omos and Riker going one-on-one would be a great match. I agree with all you guys, and that's all I got.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It is. The build up is coming. So you're gonna do one of two things. Either you're gonna see a tag team match, or you're gonna see the two Protectors go at it in a one-on-one match.
It's gonna happen here in the next month.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of two. All right. So Dragon Viper, go ahead and give us the next match of the night.
Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce, with Evans and Royce winning with help from Ric Flair.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, so as you saw at the end, again, we've seen this story before, to where Charlotte Flair gets upset with Ric Flair and tells him to go away, stay out of my matches, stay out of my life. It's something that we've seen in the past. I thought that this was a good match. This is a match that you're going to see happen quite a bit because this is kind of the buildup that I see happening. They're putting Peyton Royce and the tag team picture, not with Billy Kay, but with Lacey Evans, which is weird. I would kind of like to see the Iconics get back together. Personally, I would, because I was an Iconic fan. But this match was good. It was good to see Ric Flair out there. It was nice to see it. However, did anybody notice how old Ric Flair really is looking?
Yeah.
Like he's looking rough. He's looking really, really rough at this point.
Yeah.
All right, so Metro, why don't you go ahead and give me your takeaway in this match?
Sorry, I had a phone call. Yeah, it's a really good match. I liked it. I think eventually Royce and Lacey Evans are going to take titles. And you saw at the end, you knew it was coming. You saw when they cut to Rick by the apron that he was going to grab Charlotte and cost her the match. That was predictable. I saw it coming. I don't know if you guys did, but too predictable.
I don't know. I didn't really see that coming, but I kind of would have liked to see a better ending. But anyway, Sarge, go ahead and take it away and tell me what your thoughts on the match was.
I have to agree with you, Ace. I thought the ending could be a little bit better. It was kind of ugly natural selection from Flair, but I got to give it to Ric Flair. Still stealing kisses and still high flying. That's all I got to say about that one.
No, he is, but my point was that when you look at him, he just looks rough, like super, super rough, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if he's sick at this point in time, but it definitely looks like it. All right. So Dragon Viper, go ahead and give me your thoughts on this match.
My thoughts on this match, I honestly think WWE is trying to throw, women together as tag teams and less singles right now. But they just seem to be throwing the females together for tag teams. I think it's kind of interesting the way they pair the females up. But I think it was a good match, and maybe that win would get them in line for the tag title. Yeah, that's all I know.
Well, the thing is they kind of have to throw some diva tag teams together because you kind of have to. It's kind of interesting because when you look at the tag teams that are going out there right now, they kind of have to mix and match because there really isn't a lot of those patented old school tag team, diva tag teams that you see now. So they're kind of trying to pick and choose, be like, you guys try it, you guys try it. And I think eventually they're going to hit on somebody. I mean, they kind of hit on Charlotte and Asuka. That was a good pair. I like that pair.
But if they would stop trying to split them up, split the female tag teams up like Bayley and Sasha. I mean,
but the thing is you have to at some point because they're two main event divas. And so when they're two main event divas, you have to break them up at some point. Eventually, Charlotte and Asuka are going to break up because they're main event divas. So I think they're trying to take a lot of the mid card and lower tier card divas and put them as tag teams because they have to do something with them. All right, so Brandon Herrera, go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Yeah, it was a good match. I didn't really see Ric Flair costing the match, but I kind of interested to see where it goes with this tag team with Peyton and Royce. Kind of intrigued too, and seeing if Flair comes out on their side now since Charlotte told him to go get lost pretty much, and maybe he helps them win the tag titles down the road. So be kind of interesting to see where they go. But yeah, they need to start keeping some of these teams together for a while. I mean, not like Charlotte and Asuka, but like Royce and Lacey Evans and Mandy Rose and Brooke. Let them build as a tag team. I think that's where they're going to be most efficient at, is getting some of these teams to stay together for a while.
All right. So Dragon Viper, why don't you go ahead and give us the next match?
Next match is Riddle versus Lashley. The shocking of Riddle.
Yes. Riddle won this match. All right, Sarge, you have this one first. Go ahead, give me your takeaway in this one.
This match, it made me sick just watching it. I just didn't like how the ending ended. I don't know how to explain more of it. I just think it was just a fast way just to end the match. It felt like it was rushed and it didn't do anything. I didn't think. I think, like I said, just didn't do anything, and I can't explain any more on it.
All right, Dragon Viper.
I didn't really care for this match as well. I was shocked that they actually allowed Riddle to win. I mean, with how predictable it is that, Lashley comes out, puts on the Hurt Lock and wins. I was actually kind of shocked about that. But other than that, I didn't really care for it much. I agree with Sarge. It felt rushed. I don't know. It didn't feel like much of a good match.
Well, the thing is with that is when you're doing a rivalry like that and you're trying to build up a storyline, you said that you were shocked they had Riddle win, but in all honesty, you can't have Lashley come out and win every single week because that does not make for good ratings. It does not make for a good rivalry. Yes, I think this rivalry will eventually end. I thought that the ending was personally weird, but you know what? That's for another date and time. All right, Mr. Brandon Herrera, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, the only thing I can think they're doing is, okay, Riddle won, so now he's one up on him. Maybe give him a title shot down the road. I mean, they got to build somebody towards Lashley and the U.S. title. So that's the only kind of thing I took from the match is that they might be trying to push Riddle into U.S. Title contention. That's about it.
All right, mess around.
I like this match. I totally disagree with you guys. I thought this match was awesome. Riddle, man, I love this kid. This kid's got talent. And this match, what it does for him is it puts him in that title picture for the U.S. title. The ending was great, the way he made the ref, like Bobby Lashley thought that he tapped out, and then he ended up rolling him up for the victory. It was awesome. I love Riddle, and I think this kid's going to be something huge soon.
No, now, mess around to clarify what I'm saying there. I'm not saying that Riddle doesn't have talent. I'm saying on the side of Bobby Lashley, and I think that's where everyone is getting to the whole Bobby Lashley thing, because he's kind of one of those big guys too that doesn't have a lot of talent, and so it's just interesting the pairing, which
it was nice to see Lashley lose for once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. All right, Dragon Viper, go ahead and give us the next match.
Next match was Dana Brooke versus Shayna Baszler, with Dana Brooke surprisingly winning.
Yeah, and the winning was kind of interesting because as she's locked in the chokehold, she gets the pin. You know, she kind of rolls on top of Shayna, and then she gets a pin, and Shayna's still not letting go. And then Mandy Rose has to, yeah. So, Dragon Viper, go ahead and take it away.
My thoughts on this: originally, it was supposed to be Mandy Rose versus Shayna Baszler, but Baszler attacked Mandy, which brought Dana Brooke out to make the match Dana versus Baszler. I honestly think it was just a match so that Dana could get payback on Shayna for not only beating up on Mandy, but also the loss last time she faced Shayna. Other than that, I really thought it was an okay match. I was just in shock that Dana won.
Brandon, I saw your little comment on the side there about Lashley. I tell you, that's one guy I don't miss is Leo Rush. I don't miss that guy coming out, Lashley. That was, I could not stand Leo Rush.
It was cool for a point with him, but it did get boring after a while. But for the match itself, I'm with everybody. I think it was a shock that she won, but I kind of like this little feud they got going between Dana and Mandy Rose and Baszler and Nia Jax. I hope they keep it going. I hope they keep the two teams together and see how far they can roll with it. So, but that's all I got. I mean, a shocking victory.
All right, mess around.
I thought the match was good. It showcased Dana Brooks more. She needs definitely to be showcased more. She's super talented, and I think she should be a champion someday, probably soon. Didn't expect her to win the way she won, so that was kind of surprising.
Wow. Sorry, I must say, Dana. All right, so we have some interesting comments going here on the side. All right, so Sarge, you go ahead and take it away.
Heck yes. Yes, Dana Brooke should have won. Keep building her up. She's doing awesome.
Yes.
WWE is building her up in a perfect way. Also, I kind of want to slide on a caution. Mandy Rose may be hurt, and that's probably why she hasn't been as involved. But I think they're actually building up Dana Brooke more. But I'm glad she won this one. I thought it was an awesome match.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to actually see Dana Brooke get some more airtime. I always thought that she was very, very talented, and they never gave her that true chance that she actually deserves. Dana Brooke is talented. She needs to show the world what she has, and she's finally getting it. So, yes, Sarge, I completely agree with you on the aspect of that. She's finally earning it. Thank you. Thank you, WWE. All right. Dragon Viper, next, please.
Next match is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, with the winner, Randy Orton.
Yeah, honestly, we saw that coming. Personally, though, what I was waiting for is because how he had been insulting the legends all night. I was kind of maybe expecting maybe one or two guys to come down and interfere in the match or come down and say something, but it never happened. So it was just kind of interesting. I was waiting for something to happen, but it didn't. And that just kind of threw me off. So I'm like, so what? Nothing's going to happen? Like, you just been disrespecting him all night, and it's going to end like this? Interesting. Okay. So now it made the legends look like a bunch of pansies. Just to tell you, it made it look bad. All right. So Brandon Herrera, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ace. I actually was hoping the Legends would come down, or the Big Show, or somebody, and Hardy was going to win. So I was actually a little shocked that didn't happen and Hardy didn't win. But overall, I mean, we've seen this match over and over again between these two. Great match. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm kind of bored with the little feud they got or the matches they put together. But I mean, overall, it was a good match. And yeah, I'm with you. I was shocked that no Legends got involved.
All right, mess around.
Yeah, this is one of those matches that's been done numerous times. Really no point to it. I was really disappointed that Randy didn't do what he did before with the putting his finger through his ear hole and pulling on it again.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to see that. I'm like, I'm going to be disappointed if I don't see this. And then it didn't happen. So yeah, that's my biggest take from that. I was disappointed from that.
Oh, Sarge.
I hear voices in my head. That's all I can say. And they're telling me that Hardy has lost like 3 steps. He's a little bit slower, and his body, you can tell that his body's has taken its toll. But I love the finish with the twist of fate right into the RKO. I always like that finish. I thought that was beautiful. But with the Legends, I have to agree. I mean, this Legend Night is kind of falling flat as the show came on. There was like nothing going on with Legends.
Yeah, for a Legends Night, usually you see them. You usually see a lot more of them on Legends Night. It's just something you didn't really see. And Sarge, coming back to your comment to where you're talking about how it looked like Jeff Hardy had lost a few steps. I mean, yeah, obviously when you look over the years, his body's taken a beating from all the TLC matches he's done, anywhere from WWE to Impact to Ring of Honor. All that stuff. He's been famous for all those high flying risks he takes. So obviously it's time to where his body's starting to break down and he's starting to lose those steps. I don't know how many more years that Jeff Hardy has left, but it's nice to see him and enjoy him while he's still there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, Dragon Viper.
My take on this match, it was a great match. Again, Orton being in my top 5 favorites. And Jeff Hardy's a real good wrestler too. He's one of my top 10 favorites. And I disagree with messing around on this. He did put his finger through Jeff Hardy's ear hole again. Did what he did last time and tried tugging on it more and all that. Kind of made me cringe, really. But I honestly think the only reason for this match was to keep them relevant on TV, and as they're trying to continue the story with The Fiend and trying to come up with something with Jeff Hardy. So I think it was just to keep them on TV. I am disappointed that the Legends did not do anything with Orton, with him antagonizing them all night. Yeah, it disappointed me about the Legends, but I thought it was a great match altogether.
All right. So, what do we have next?
Next was the Hurt Business, Alexander and Benjamin versus Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado.
Lucha,
And the winner, Lucha House Party.
Lucha, 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 Lucha. So, the Lucha House Party actually winning this match it actually kind of surprised me in a way. I actually wasn't expecting them to get this victory. I thought that the Hurt Business was going to for sure win. Now, don't forget, though, what happened after the match. You finally saw a little bit of frustration in the Hurt Business. You finally saw a little bit of it, and you finally saw a little bit of Cedric Alexander, taking that walk away, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Come back. So is something finally brewing between this tag team, between the Hurt Business? Is something brewing? Maybe Cedric Alexander's ready to go his own separate way. I thought it was a good match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I always love to see a good lucha wrestling match because of how skilled they are. Lucha, lucha, lucha. All right, Matt, mess around, Dave. You go ahead and take it away.
So this is what's brewing. Ricochet is going to take Alexander's spot. Happen. I think they're going to kick him out and they're going to put Ricochet in. But yeah, the match, I was surprised the Lucha House Party won. It's a good match. But yeah, that's all I got for that one. I really didn't care for it too much.
But you said that about Retribution with Ricochet.
I'm changing it now. Switch it up.
Now you're changing it? Oh my gosh.
Switch it up.
All right, Sarge. Sarge, what do you got?
I called this once Benjamin and Alexander won the tag team titles because it was Alexander that stole the win from Benjamin during that bout. It started back then, so it's coming to fruition, and I think it will be the downfall. Could be the downfall of Hurt Business, but I do enjoy lucha.
Right? How can you not enjoy a little bit of lucha? All right, Dragon Viper.
I thought it was a good match. I do also like the high flying of Lucha House Party. I would have rather seen the Hurt Business win, but again, I'm shocked that they beat the Hurt Business. And I'm starting to see maybe they're trying to already split the Hurt Business. 3 members had lost that night in shocking fashion. And interesting enough, that was the 3rd shocking match where the winner ended up doing a roll-up. If anybody noticed that. But other than that, it was a great match. And MVP's starting to get frustrated between Alexander and Benjamin. So, telling them, you guys work it out, you guys get along, So that's my thoughts on it.
All right, well, I think we all forgot to tell Mess Around that since he's the only one who disagreed on this match and didn't enjoy this match, that he is now the weakest link and he must leave. So,
Nice being on the show.
So Brandon Ferrer, you go ahead and give
I
me
just
your
wanted
big
to get
wins.
my guy in here. I had to get a character.
Overall, I think it was a good match. I mean, yeah, you can start seeing frustration. I kind of hope the Lucha House Party gets a little title run here. I mean, they've kind of been entertaining. But as far as splitting up the Hurt Business, part of me thinks it's too early, but yet I think Benjamin's probably the oldest one out of the group that's fighting, so I could see him kind of splitting off. But I don't know who they would fill in, unless they split up the New Day and one of them joins. But yeah, we'll see where it goes with the Hurt Business. I don't want to see them split up too soon, but I can see them doing that.
Miz and Morrison, hey, ho ho. Okay, all right. So, all right, Dragon Viper, go ahead and give me the next match of that. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
The next match of the night, which was the main event, was Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee for the world title. And the winner, no surprise, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, because honestly, Drew McIntyre was not going to lose the belt to Keith Lee on Monday Night Raw. Everybody knew that. It wasn't going to happen. It was honestly just to kind of give Keith Lee his title match that everybody thought that he deserved, but we knew he wasn't going to win. So, Sarge, go ahead and give me your takeaway in this match.
I was surprised that Sheamus didn't even come out once during the show for that. I mean, the match was awesome. I enjoyed the match, but I was more shocked that Sheamus never showed his face. My two favorite spots of this match is when Keith Lee went through the announce table. That slow-mo that they played, that table stood there for like at least 2 seconds, then it exploded right underneath them. And also, Keith Lee doing the Spanish fly off of the turnbuckle.
Right?
Come on, you cannot not like that. That was awesome. That was awesome. Then all of a sudden, Goldberg just kind of ruined it there for me.
Yeah, that was that Goldberg at the end, because we know that his contract for WWE states that he has to participate in 2 pay-per-views a year for WWE. But why? Why every pay-per-view that he gets does it have to be for the title? I mean, that just I hate it. I hate it. Every single match he gets, it's got to be for that dang title every time. And I don't like it. Goldberg he should be done, okay? It's time for Goldberg to call it quits. And if you're going to use him, don't put him in a title match, please. I'm getting tired of seeing it. Goldberg is not Mr. 5 moves. He's not Mr. 4 moves. He's Mr. 2 moves. It's the spear and the jackhammer. That's all he has left now, 2. The spear and the jackhammer. Let's get realistic. The dude can't wrestle. His match goes for about 20 seconds to 25 seconds. That is it. And so I'm really curious how they're going to do this whole little thing with Goldberg and McIntyre. Do you honestly think that Goldberg is going to beat McIntyre in 20 to 25 seconds? Are you kidding me? I don't see it happening. This is the stupidest thing I've seen. And oh gosh, I don't want to get into it. But all right, Dragon Viper.
My bed, except mine's wood.
All right, Dragon Viper, you go ahead and take it away.
Nightstand.
All right. My take on the match. It was a great match. I didn't think Lee would win because in my opinion, I think it's still too early for Keith Lee to be a champion. I still think he needs a little bit more work in his, ring work. And I agree with Ace. There's no point in Goldberg versus McIntyre. There's no storyline. There's no reason behind it. There's nothing there. I could see Goldberg versus Reigns, but I don't see Goldberg versus McIntyre. There's no point behind it. None.
Dragon Viper, any credibility that you had for trying to set up a match, when you said Goldberg versus Reigns, you absolutely just butchered it. So you will never ever put a match together for me, because that was horrible booking there, my friend. That was horrible.
I'd rather see Reigns versus Goldberg because I'd rather see that than Reigns versus McIntyre. Yeah. I mean, that's why I would rather see.
No, I would rather see somebody like The Rock or somebody that can actually, if you're going to bring out a legend that can still wrestle and is actually athletic enough to do it. All right.
Man versus 5 moves man.
So, Brandon Herrera, go ahead and take it away.
The match was good. We all knew, if it was going to be a clean fall win, it was going to be Drew McIntyre. But yeah, Sheamus didn't come out to interfere at all, and maybe that would have been how Lee would have won. And, but the whole Goldberg thing, I'm kind of with Viper. I would have rather seen him come out on SmackDown and challenge Roman Reigns. But,
you guys are killing me.
I mean, they got more of a history than Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. So. But outside of that, great match. McIntyre, Goldberg. We'll see what happens.
Wow, this ridiculous tonight, man. Oh my gosh. All right, mess around. Go ahead. Please save it. Please save this.
Okay, so to be completely honest with you, the beginning of the match was so dull. I was dinking around on my phone, not paying attention. And then I heard him say, "Oh my God," and I had to look, and it just started getting good in the middle, and it picked up. So the beginning of the match for me was just them going back and forth, trying to prove who's stronger, whatnot. That was boring. We don't want to see that. Get out of here with that stuff. But that Spanish fly he did off the top rope, like Tim alluded to, that was amazing for a big guy like that to get up and do that. And the whole Goldberg thing, get out of here with him. Go away. You're not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Have John Cena come back, for Christ's sake. Somebody other than him. Ridiculous.
Well, at least with Cena, you get 5 moves instead of 2 moves.
Yeah, at least Cena can still
Right.
go more than 20 minutes.
But I mean, I get what you guys
Right.
are saying. You know, I'd rather see anybody but Goldberg. But if they brought him back, I would have rather seen him against Reigns.
Yep, absolutely.
I'd rather see him not at all. Like, go
All
away,
right.
go away.
All right. We're gonna jump to SmackDown because I can't take this Goldberg talk anymore because this is polluting my ears. When you're talking about Goldberg versus Reigns, it's polluting my ears. It's making my head hurt. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump to the SmackDown side. All right, mess around. Go ahead and give us the first match of the night.
So the first match of the night, we got Apollo Crews versus Big E. The first match ended in a draw. Then they had to run it back, and then Big E ended up winning the second match.
Well, Big E was gonna win, you know, because he just got that belt, so he's definitely not gonna. I don't see him dropping it anytime soon. But Dragon Viper, go ahead and give me your thoughts on this match.
My thoughts, it was a great match. The ending of the first one was kind of weird how they did like a draw. Originally, if there's a draw, the match is over. You know, champion's still going to be champion. But they decided to go ahead and restart the match after Crews slapped Big E, and then Big E started just wailing on Crews after that. I was glad Big E won, and I thought it was a really good match.
All right, Brandon Herrera.
Yeah, it was a great match for two big guys that can fly around that ring. I mean, back in the day, if they would have had a draw like they had with both shoulders down, they would have crowned them co-champions, and then, like they did with China and Jericho, I believe it was. But
yeah,
I can see them restarting. Fill some time. I mean, there ain't much going on in wrestling right now because of COVID and stuff, but. Yeah, that slap to Big E really charged him up, and he went to town on Crews that second part. So, but yeah, we knew he wasn't losing this match anytime soon.
All right, mess around.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid match. Like a lot of back and forth. Apollo Crews, man, I like that dude. He's a combination of power and athleticism. I think WWE should do more with this guy. And the inning when he went for the pin there, I was like, "Holy crap, Crews just won!" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's a draw." I was shocked for a minute. I thought Crews won for a minute, and then for the inning of the second one, Big E just came out, dominated, did his thing. I think this turned Big E heel like he started out with Ziggler when he was a manager for him. He needs to go back to being a heel and just unleash the fury on everybody.
All right, Sarge.
Man, did you see that Yuri at the end of that match? That was that crushed like 5 nuggets there. I mean, I love the match. I thought it was great. Crews has come a long ways, and I think we might have seen a slight heel turn for Crews, but this was a pretty good match. I didn't care for the draw at all. I'm kind of like messing around, like, oh, okay. But that second part, that Yuri got me pumped with that.
All right, mess around. Go ahead and give us the second match of the night, please.
You got the Dirty Dogs versus the Street Profits.
Dirty dogs, dirty dogs. All right, Brandon Herrera, go ahead and give us your thoughts on this match.
Whew. Yeah, a great match. Not too surprising that Street Profits lost the titles. I mean, they've had it, quite a bit this past year. So I actually love this team with Rude and Ziggler. I hope they keep the titles for a while, keep them going for a while. I mean, this Dirty Dogs, this little, I don't know how you can explain it, but that move where they do the spine buster into the zigzag, that's killer. So, kind of impressed. Like the match, like the new tag champs. So let's move on.
Tag team champions. All right, mess around. Go ahead and take it away.
And the new tag team champions. This match was awesome. I love the match. The turning point when Ford's knee went out and they focused on that, took him out. And then Dawkins, he was in the ring for most of the match. I thought this guy really showcased his talent because he's really overshadowed by Ford and his athleticism with how high he can jump and everything. So I thought that was great to get him more ring time and focus on him for a bit. But I'm glad the Street Profits lost, even though I like them. They're one of my favorite teams. It was time to see somebody else have the titles for a minute.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And especially with it being Rude and Ziggler, I'm glad that they were able to get the belts because they rightfully deserved it. All right, Sarge, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, man, I love this match, man. Ford, athletic, when he's jumping over the ropes, and his drop kick is just smooth. My favorite part is when he drank out of the red Solo cup. It was like that Magic Mike stuff from Space Jam. He was ready to rock and roll. But I do like the Dirty Dogs. Bobby Roode is I loved it. I love him as this instead of the glorious one. I think this fits him beautifully.
Red Solo Cup.
You feel
I fill you up. All right, mess around. Go ahead and give us the next match of the night there, sir.
Hold on, I still haven't given my thoughts.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dragon Viper. See, you just don't matter. Okay.
It skipped you because of the Goldberg comment.
All right. Yes, because you killed me with the Goldberg thing. So
Actually,
go ahead.
You won't like it anyway. Move on. The only thing I have to say about this match is the fact that I'm glad that the Street Profits are no longer tag champs. The Street Profits irritate me, but so does Ziggler and Rude. But I'm glad Street Profits lost the titles. Other than that, it was an okay match with some good moves.
So they irritate you. They both do. Kind of like you irritate me when you talk about Goldberg versus Reigns. So, all right. So mess around. So go ahead and give me the next match of the night.
The final match tonight is the gauntlet match. And the first two started off as Mysterio and Sami Zayn, which ended really quick because Sami came out and talked about conspiracies and how he's going to have a camera crew document everything. Then he turns around to talk to his camera crew, gets drop kicked. 619 frog splash later, it's over.
Yeah. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the Sarge on this one. And Sarge, tell me, what were you really expecting Adam Pearce?
No, I wasn't whatsoever. I honestly thought maybe actually a surprise drop-in from Seth Rollins might have happened or KO, but no, I was shocked through this whole match. I was disappointed that Cesaro was not in it. I actually thought King Corbin actually did a good job also in this match, and I was actually kind of rooting for King Corbin. I don't know why, but it was weird. But I thought it was a weird take having Nakamura as the winner of this. Then Pierce out of nowhere was a winner, but Pierce, he's a 5-time heavyweight champion in NWA.
Mm-hmm. So I can honestly see this part to where KO, ends up getting revenge on Roman Reigns by costing him his championship to Adam Pearce. I'm telling you. I see it happening right now. I can see it happening. All right, Dragon Viper, go ahead and give me your thoughts.
great match, you know, with 5 competitors. I don't really count, you know, Pierce
You're right. You
being
don't count. Okay. Good.
funny. Anyway, you know, I don't understand the whole concept behind Pierce being in this match at the Royal Rumble. I don't understand it. I kind of, you know, I'll go on with, you know, later on in the night, but I didn't expect Pierce to win this match. I expected, you know, I mean, even Shinsuke to win. But yeah, I wasn't very thrilled with who won just because I don't understand why it even happened.
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting how Adam Pearce was just put in this match. Like, out of nowhere, you're like, 1 minute he's backstage, and then next minute you're like, what? He's in a match now? What? What is going on? So, Brandon Herrera, go ahead and give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I was with Tim. I thought maybe you see Cesaro, KO, somebody come in that final spot, you know. But yeah, Pierce, I'll save my comments for that. I didn't see him winning, but I have some predictions for our Royal Rumble segment if we get to it tonight.
All right. So, Mess Around, you gave us a little bit of one, right? You kind of gave us a little bit of a breakdown. But what was your final thoughts, especially with the Adam Pearce?
Adam Pearce, to me, this has a whole, like, WCW David Arquette feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little guy from nowhere winning it out of nowhere. Like, it's just stupid to me. I don't know. I was with Sarge there. I wanted Corbin to win because that's my guy. One of my guys.
That would have been nice.
They need to do something with him, give him a chance at that title.
No, I was really, really hoping. The one thing that I will say that I did agree with Sarge on was that I was really, really hoping for a comeback of Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is my dude. Seth Rollins is one of my favorite in the business right now. I cannot wait for Rollins' return. I was getting so excited for it 2 weeks ago, and then I got let down and I didn't see it. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I wanted to see it so bad. All right. So
that was it for SmackDown. That was all the matches.
Yeah, that was pretty much it for SmackDown. So now we jump into our 3-count topics of the night. And all these are top 5 lists. So our first top 5 list of the night is top 5 famous people / sports figures who could jump in the ring. Now, I didn't do a whole list of 5 because I just wanted to say my favorite one, which was obviously Lawrence Taylor. I don't know how anybody could not go with Lawrence Taylor. I loved Lawrence Taylor in the ring against Bam Bam Bigelow. Who remembers that? Tell me everybody remembers when Lawrence Taylor was in the ring with Bam Bam Bigelow. That was awesome. And then Lawrence Taylor getting the victory. Oh, absolutely. That was the greatest. Off the top ropes, takes out Bam Bam. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Loved it. Epic finish. All right. So, Brandon, since you sent this list out, it's only fitting that you go ahead and give us your top 5 first. So you go ahead and take it away.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, have jumped in the ring and, you know, for a match here and there. But, I mean, yeah, I didn't really do, you know, you got Karl Malone, probably number 5. Jay Leno, you know, probably 5-2 with him. I mean, that was kind of a gimmicky match. Let's see, you got I was actually more thinking of like newer guys that haven't been in, but I see where you went with it. So, you know, you got Rodman, probably my favorite, you know, that I thought he did an excellent job in the ring. Number 4, though, Arquette, you know, even though it was kind of a cheesy storyline. So, but those are, you know, 3, 4 of the guys that I kind of liked. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget about the man, the myth, the legend of Pat McAfee, because we all know that he's involved with NXT, so you can't really you can't really forget about him because Pat McAfee's the man. All right.
No.
So next round, go ahead and give me your list.
Okay, so I took this the way that Brandon was saying, like guys that haven't been in it before. So I went with number 5, Aaron Donald. I think he'd be awesome in the ring. Big, strong guy. Number 4, Conor McGregor. I think he could tear it up there, and he'd be great on the mic. Talk a little trash. And number 2, Chael Sonnen. This guy would be awesome too. He's a really good trash talker. Number 2, Daniel Cormier. And number 1, we've seen this guy in the ring, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Sarge, I can't wait to see where you went with this.
I kind of went with people who have not been in the ring. First of all, my top 5 started with the number 5. I want to see Conor McGregor get on the mic with The Miz. I think that would be awesome with that one. That would make the A-lister a A-lister. Next, I went UFC again, but this is for the women's. Chris Cyborg, I think that would be awesome against Lazar and all the other UFC fighters that came over. I think that would be awesome for that to happen. Again, Channing Tatum. I mean, come on. Can't be Channing Tatum for all those ladies out there. Hugh Jackman. I know he was a host one night, but I think he can pull it off. But my number 1 is my wife's boyfriend, Jason Momoa.
All right. I like it. Dragon Viper, where'd you go with this?
You know, I went the opposite. I went with the people, the celebrities and athletes that have been in there once or a couple times. But number 5, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 4, and as much as I hate his best friend, Mr. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. I could see him in there. Number 3, once again, Mike Tyson. I could see him in there. Number 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I could see him. And number 1, once again, he's up there in age, but I'd like to see him in there when he was in his prime again, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Mr. T. So, really, the diva, the female that I would like to touch on, because, Sarge, you mentioned it a little bit on the UFC side, but how about Holly Holmes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Holly Holmes, absolutely. Holly freaking Holmes. I would love
Amanda Nunez.
How about Mr. Creed himself, Michael B. Jordan? I mean, that would be a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Speaking of people who've gotten in the ring, does anybody remember Royal Rumble? I'm trying to remember when it was. I want to say it was Royal Rumble, maybe 2003, 2004. Drew Carey gets in the ring, goes face to face with Kane, and tries to give him money. Like, here, take my money. And then Drew Carey eliminates himself over the top ropes because he didn't want any part of it. That was awesome. I love that.
Well, how about the times Pete Rose got in the ring with Kane? I mean, we know how those went, right?
Yeah, when and then when Pete Rose dressed up as the chicken.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did they call that chicken?
The gobbledygooker.
Yes, the gobbledygooker. Yes. Yes. Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke was in there. Yeah. All right.
You can't forget. I think it was Mania 1, where they had the big battle royal, and they had a bunch of Chicago Bears.
Yep.
From Perry on up. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so mess around to touch on your point there too. Yeah. So Nate's pick of Stefan Amal, that's actually not bad. I actually like that pick.
I like it.
So I actually think that what WWE should do at some point is make a celebrity Royal Rumble. I think that would be pretty cool, you know.
That'd be
Get a bunch of
awesome.
celebrities in
Yeah.
there and just teach them really, really quick how to eliminate each other without getting hurt, you know. That would be cool. I would love to see that. All right. So our next topic of the night is top 5 big men. And when we're talking about big men, we're talking about guys who were 6'10" and above. Those are the big men that we're talking about. Mess around. You can go ahead and take this one first.
All right, let's see. What did I have? Number 5, The Big Show. Number 4, I got Kane. 3, I got Braun Strowman. 2, I have The Undertaker. And 1, Andre the Giant.
Man, that's how I honestly would have done it. All right, Sarge, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Well, I disagree with Braun Strowman because he's only 6'8". So
Well, the Sarge is voted off now.
Yeah,
All right.
So 5 is Diesel, Kevin Nash. Then I went Kane for my number 4. Number 3 is Captain Insano, a.k.a. The Big Show.
Captain Insano.
Number 2 is Andre the Giant. Then my number 1 has to be the dead man, The Undertaker.
All right, Dragon Viper.
Number 5, I have the Great Khali. Number 4, I have Big Cass. You know, the team Enzo and Cass. Number 3, I have Giant Gonzalez. Number 2, I have Kevin Nash. And number 1, he's been mentioned 3 times already, The Undertaker.
You are absolutely killing me tonight, bro. I mean, some of these people you're throwing out there, I'm like, I would be completely happy if I never saw him back in a ring again on a bunch of these. And you're like killing me tonight, man.
First over, now this.
Right? I'm like, oh my God. All right, Brandon Herrera, go ahead.
No, so, you know, even though I'm a big fan of his, Andre the Giant I put number 5 because, I mean, throughout his career, he's been more of just a side act. I mean, he didn't really do much, but for a big guy, you know, to do what he did was awesome. Number 4, Kevin Nash, you know, Diesel. I mean, the guy was amazing. Number 3, I got Big John Studd back in the late 80s, early 90s. You know, the guy was untouchable when he got into the ring. Number 2, I go with Kane. I like Kane. I mean, he's had different, you know, characters. Number 1, of course, how can you not go with The Undertaker, Mr. WrestleMania himself?
How could you not enjoy a little bit of that corporate Kane, you know?
Yeah.
Corporate Kane. So obviously, mess around. You probably know who's number 1 on my big man list.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio.
So I've got Rey Mysterio. I got Hornswoggle. I got El Torito. I got Little Boogeyman.
Max Mini.
Don't forget Dink.
Dink and Doink. Yes.
Yep.
Max Mini.
So, actually, number 1 on my list is obviously Kane. But mess around knew I was going to do that because Kane is one of my favorites of all time. I've always liked Kane, so he's got to go number 1 on my list. And then obviously you got to go with The Undertaker, man. How could you not you got to have The Undertaker on that because of everything he's accomplished in his whole entire career. So I put Kane at number 1 just because I was being biased, just because he's been my favorite of all time. It's the only reason I have him at number 1. Obviously, number 3, mess around. You kind of mentioned him too, Braun Strowman. I know Sarge like you can't put him on the list. He's 6'8". Well, you know what? I don't care. He's a big man. It doesn't matter to me. Braun Strowman is a big man. I've never been the kind of guy that really likes the huge big man like the Giant Gonzalez, like he was saying, and Big Cass. Like he was saying, man, that was blasphemous, bro. I don't even know what the heck you got that from, man. That was crazy. But anyways, that was 3. So I gave you 3 right there. All right. So now how about, since everybody gave us their list, how about we jump to our third topic of the night, which is the top 5 tag splits of all time. All right. So with this one, Sarge, you go ahead and you take it away first.
Oh, I will definitely take away Ace. So my top 5. Number 5, it's how they split up, was Cass and Enzo. Number 4, it was like I had to put him in there twice. It was Jerry Show with Jericho and Big Show because Loser has to leave Raw against DX. Also, I've had to put Jericho and KO on that same at number 4. Number 3, the Rockers with HBK and Marty Jannetty, and Jannetty got retribution from there. Number 2, Mega Powers with the Hulkster and Savage. Number 1 breakup was the Shield. I never guessed it was Seth Rollins. I thought it was someone else the whole time.
Well, dang it, you threw a wrench in the system because I'll tell you, I was going to say the Shield because, the Shield is obvious. To me, the Shield's number 1 because that was brilliant how they ended their whole thing. That I loved it. The Rockers was on my list also. I kind of, even though it's kind of weird with the whole Wyatt thing, I did have the Wyatts on there too because they split up, and obviously we know, rest in peace, that we'll never see the Wyatts back together again, even though that would have been awesome to see it again. That would have been great, but rest in peace on that one. So Dragon Viper, go ahead and give me your list.
All right, number 5, the Iconics. Number 4, Enzo and Cass. Number 3, Otis and Tucker. Number 2, the Hardy Boys. And number 1, the Rockers.
I'm stunned. I don't even know what to say. All right, Brandon Herrera, go ahead and take it away.
All right, so number 5, I got the Can-Am connection of Tino Santana and no, it wasn't. Anyways, Rick Martel left him standing in the ring. He left because he got hit on accident. So that was a big split. That became the Rick, the model. I got the Steiner brothers. When Rick or Scott turned on his brother to join the NWO. And then the top 3, the Mega Powers, number 3. I mean, their little feud over Miss Elizabeth and all that. Number 2, the Shield. I'm with Sarge on that one. I didn't see it coming and didn't think it was going to be Rollins. I would have picked Reigns out of the 3. Then number 1, definitely the Rockers. I mean, when he super kicked them and threw them through the glass in the barbershop, wow. Didn't see that one coming either.
All right. Mess around, Dave.
Number 5 for me was Rated RKO. I love that tag team. I hated it when they split.
Yeah.
Number 4 was who did I have? KO and Jericho. 3, I had the Mega Powers. 2 was the Rockers, and 1 was the Shield. Pretty much the same guys as Sarge and Brandon. But yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that nobody else put the Wyatts on there.
I saw them more as a stable than an actual tag team.
Yeah, but you put the Shield on there, huh?
No, Piper did not.
No, but if people were gonna put the Shield on their list, I'm just saying, you can throw the Wyatts on there because of how they ended. And don't forget about the split too, when it was just Triple H and Shawn Michaels on the DX part, and Triple H turned on Shawn Michaels a couple times, and then you even have, and you can even go as far as, dang it, I just had it in my mind and I completely spaced. Oh,
they're going through you off.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So no, I was gonna say Evolution, Legacy. All those guys when they turned on each other. But that was mostly Triple H turning on Randy Orton when Randy Orton won the heavyweight championship, and Triple H is like, oh, thumbs down, and then they turn on Randy Orton. Yep, they turned on Dave's boy.
Disrespectful.
I was disappointed.
So
let's touch on this topic here. I just saw it pop up, and I don't know if it got flashed. How about Jennifer Lopez as a celebrity to jump into the ring as this is Barbie brought up?
As a manager,
J-Lo.
I don't think I'd be watching too much of the match.
No, so I do. Yeah, I will answer a few of these questions though too, because she's also asking what about the Bellas when they split up. Yep, that was a good one. That they're split up, and then Landon saying, "Is the New Day still a tag team?" Well, yes and no, because two of them are still a tag team, but Big E isn't with them anymore. So yes and no. I guess you can consider them. Yeah, with Xavier, that's it. Yeah, until they end up turning on each other, and it's coming. All right, so since we do have a little bit of time left, we can briefly touch on what we see happening at the Royal Rumble. So with this one, I'll go ahead and I'll let Dragon Viper start with this one. So Dragon Viper, how about the hold on before we start that? So Landon, the answer on the Usos at the moment, Jimmy Uso's actually out hurt right now. So Jay's the only one that's there. Now when they come back, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen when he comes back. So at the moment, they're still a tag team, but don't know what's going to happen when he comes back from being injured.
Well, Landon, now that you don't have to watch Seattle football, you can start watching wrestling again.
Right.
It's more exciting than that team. Come on.
All right, so Dragon Viper. So go ahead and give me what you're thinking is going to happen at the Royal Rumble. Give me some predictions or something.
One of the things I think is going to happen is Roman Reigns is going to end up losing his title, and they're going to make it like WCW, where I had the information where it was like Vince Russo or David Arquette winning the title in WCW. It's going to be Adam Pearce winning it. That's my prediction on that. The men's Royal Rumble match, it's looking as Daniel Bryan may end up winning it, especially since they're talking about Daniel Bryan now winning the Rumble since he's never done it. And the one time that they've done it several times, but one of the times in my mind that they've done that was Kofi Kingston, where they're like, oh, he's never won a title, he wins the title. So I think that's what's going to happen is Daniel's going to win it. I think Tamina's going to win the female Royal Rumble. And then I've got two special guests or two I have a top 5 of special stars that might show up in the men's Royal Rumble and 5 for the females. The top of the 5 men that I think is going to be in the Rumble is John Cena, Adam Cole, Kane, Sergeant Slaughter, and Jeff Jarrett. And then the female surprised are going to be Melina, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Medusa, or Alundra Blaze, whichever she goes by, and Lita. And that's mainly what my predictions are.
So I will give a shout out to Dragon Viper and say I'm proud of you, Dragon Viper. You stayed away from the Goldberg topic. So I want to say thank you for doing that. You stayed away from it. But you did touch on the other man that I can't stand, that I've never liked, and that's Roman Reigns. So dang it. But you know what? That's okay. So Brandon Herrera, go ahead and give me some predictions on what you think.
All right. Miz is cashing in. He's going to somehow weasel his way in when Goldberg and Drew McIntyre down and pin one of them for the title. So it's going to end up being a three-way. Miz will cash in and win. As far as the other title, I see that Sonya Deville is going to be turning into, I think, the SmackDown GM type, or she's going to be like Paul Heyman's secretary, I think. But I don't think Paul Pierce is going to Adam Pierce, I'm sorry, is going to wrestle. I think we're going to see Seth Rollins come in. I think somehow he's going to get into the match, and that's what's that one. As far as who I think is going to win the Rumble, still too early to tell, but I can see Daniel Bryan winning it. On the women's side, I think it's going to be wide open right now. I don't, probably go with Beyonce Blair.
Beyonce.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah, her. Yeah, exactly. Blue lips and long hair. I go with her.
It's Derek Mark Henry.
So, that's what I got.
Man, on the men's side, man, Derrick Henry from the Tennessee Titans is going to show up, and he can come in and win.
That's what I do.
But that for him, that would be like the perfect finishing move. He comes in and he goes stiff arm, and it's over. Right. But I'm gonna wait to give my predictions on who I think is gonna win the Royal Rumble until it comes closer to time. I'll wait about the week before, and then I'll go ahead and give a prediction, so I kind of know who's all going to be in the match 2 away. So it's interesting. We have a football question going up here, but all right, yeah. So we'll jump into the. I'll answer that before we jump off, okay, Terry? I'll answer that right before we jump off. I will answer that question. But to go, Brandon, to kind of go off what you were saying there with the Miz cashing in, I could see it myself, and what I could personally be seeing right now is I could see. God, just saying this name makes me sick. But let's say that Goldberg comes in and somehow beats McIntyre. I could then see the Miz coming down and cashing in on Goldberg, because somehow Goldberg gets taken out, and then the Miz like, oh, I'm going to cash in and beat him. So then the Miz becomes champion. That's what I could see happening. Yeah. All right, so mess around, Dave. Go ahead and take it away.
You stole mine. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That was my deal there. As far as the Rumble, I think Seth Rollins is gonna be a surprise entrant in that, and he's gonna come back. He's gonna win it. And as far as the female side, there's this really dominant chick down at the NXT by the name of Rhea Ripley. She's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
All right. Sarge?
All righty. So what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble? It's going to be Goldberg will defeat McIntyre with The Miz cashing in, and Brock Lesnar will be coming out. That is my prediction on that one.
Wow.
And with that being said,
Lord,
Heyman has to choose a side. But Seth Rollins, I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble. But Big Show's going to make a surprise entrance in it and eliminate the RKO specialist, Randy Orton. But on the women's side, I got to go with Flair on that one.
Well, shoot. I guess after some of these topics we were having tonight about some of the picks that people were making, I guess I'm going to have to officially resign off the show of Between the Ropes. And, yeah. So,
I got one for the women's side. The man comes back as a surprise entrant and wins it all.
Which could end up happening. You could see Becky in the women's side, and you could see Seth in the men's side. Maybe that's kind of what they're building up to. I don't know. I guess I'm waiting to see it. I don't want to speculate on that yet. And she's saying how about Alexa Bliss? I would love to see Alexa Bliss win on the Diva side. I would love to see it.
And this guy winning on the men's side.
Yes. Dang it, Brandon. You just had to do that, didn't you? Goldberg. All right, so,
Good job, Brandon.
but before we go ahead and wrap up the show and call it a night, really quick, since all of us on here are sports junkies, but we don't count Dragon Viper because he's a Cowboys fan. So besides that, we're gonna answer Terry's question because his question popped up. So we're just gonna answer it really quick. So Nate, if you can please pop the question up on the screen again. So his question was: get rid of all the divisions, North, East, South, West. Keep all the same teams in the AFC and NFC. Put the top 6 teams in the conference and the playoffs, and no more 6 and 10 teams in there, while the 10 and 6 teams don't get to play. So yes and no, I agree with that. But personally, my thoughts on that is, if you go 7-9 like Washington did and won their division, they kind of earned that right. So to me personally, if you win your division, you have the right to be in the playoffs. Doesn't make it for bad football. Well, I guess in a way, but maybe some people don't realize that the 2 7-9 teams that have been in both times have actually ended up winning in the first round of the playoffs. This is the first
Seahawks,
time.
right?
What?
It was the Panthers and Seahawks.
Yeah,
That one, right?
the Seahawks. This is actually the first 7-9 team that we have not seen win in the first round of playoffs. And I'll tell you what, this was still a good game. It's not like Tampa Bay came out and completely steamrolled Washington. It was a good game. I enjoyed the game. Heineke stepped up and played really, really well. He came out of nowhere. So I'm not sure what I would like to see on that one. But that's right. What is your thoughts on that?
I don't have a problem with that 7-9 team getting in because that 7-9 team almost beat Tampa.
Yeah.
So they were competitive. It was a good game. Like, if you want to make playoffs, win your division. It's the guaranteed way to get in. You don't have to worry about your record being 10-6 and not making it. Win your division.
And you're in. Win and you're in. It's that simple. Win your division and you're in. Sarge, what do you think?
Keep the divisions, because if you do the like get rid of the all the directions, northeast, southwest, you're still going to have teams with the same record still won't get in. It comes with the tiebreakers and all stuff. Got to go with mess around. Hey, you earn it. You get to keep it. Remember Seahawks, like that Beastquake, man. That was like the 10-year anniversary this weekend, man. The radio stations were going crazy all about that. I think it was the world's greatest thing ever.
All right, Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I get his point, but you got to keep the divisions. I mean, some of these rivalries that these teams have are, amazing. Bears, Chicago, or Bears and Packers. That's why we're in football. So you get rid of the divisions, and it doesn't mean as much as I don't think. So I say you guys got to keep the divisions. It makes sense. You win the division, you're in.
Yeah, those rivalries definitely won't mean as much as they used to, especially when you have the rivalries like Dallas and Washington and Bears Packers. Those are just rivalries that won't matter. And Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Those type of things you want to keep going, so you can't do it. But now on Nate's aspect, maybe a realignment, but it's only if it makes sense. And it's only that if some of the rivalries are still going to stay intact, because obviously you don't want to take away a Bears Packers, you don't want to take away a Dallas and Washington. Those are things that you don't want to take away. So a realignment in a certain aspect would be okay. But Dragon Viper. So before we go, give us your thoughts on getting rid of the divisions and putting them all into one, and top 6 teams make it.
No, I think they need to keep the divisions. I think it's fine the way they are, and it's like what you said. It would probably help rivalry. It would help the rivalry if they just keep it the way it is.
And Brandon, I agree with you on your comment. Just go ahead and wipe out the Cowboys, and the problem will be solved. Just make them a new team. Just take them away, and problem will be solved. I will be completely okay with that. Combined the Cowboys and the Raiders, and we'll be.
And we'll nothing backwards, so
What?
Done, do it.
All right. So,
All right.
So since it's that time to wrap up the show, I'll give you guys each 30 seconds for your remaining any remaining things you got to say. So, Dragon Viper, go ahead. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for sharing, and continue to share, continue to comment, and you'll end up possibly winning a shirt. And we will be here next week. That's all I got.
All right, Mr. Brandon Herrera, go ahead, and you got 30 seconds, my man.
Man, I wish I had more Sundays off than I do, but I enjoy joining you guys, enjoy throwing out topics. Even when I'm at work, I enjoy commenting. I'd like to see someday we get Miss Barber on there. I mean, she sounds like she has some great points to make too, so it'll be fun to get her input on some of these live. So, well, thanks for joining us.
I know she enjoys the show. She put one more hour. She's asking for an encore. No, I'm sorry. We're not doing one more hour. We don't have another hour's worth of topics. I'm very, very sorry. I mean, with all of our knowledge in wrestling, we probably could BS for another hour about things, and we would be fine. But personally, not something we want to do. We don't want to keep going for another hour. So
nobody wants to see that.
Break down Goldberg's winning streak.
Go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
Did you say me? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, mess around. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, so the legends, having them on Raw was pointless. It took away from guys like Retribution and others that didn't get to be on the show. And I just thought it was stupid. Like, if you're going to have legends on there, bring some real guys out there. Have them do something. It was a waste of time. Raw was boring. There was a few bright spots. But, yeah, they definitely need to improve that part of it when they're going to have legends on.
All right, Sarge, you got 30 seconds.
I just want to say, Raw, thank you for being more exciting than the Rams and Seahawks game. I just want to say thank you for that. Also, thank you for not having the Boogeyman as a legend there. I appreciate it. And look, guys, Billy Kay is going to be on the Riot Squad. Just watch.
He was. Boogeyman was on
Number
there.
one, though, the Boogeyman was there.
Yep.
Did I miss that part? Oh, I fell asleep. That's why.
He was there because the Boogeyman is a legend. I do like him. He was there. I like that. And then number two, I will say this right now. I will say, we did get a football comment, which is completely okay. We know that this is a wrestling show, but all of us on the show are also sports fans also, just besides wrestling. So even if you're watching the show and you're like, well, this isn't really the sports show that I wanted to see, you know what? Throw your comment out there. It doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about it. We may not talk about it right then and there, but at some point, even maybe after the show, we will get to it. But you can throw it out there. We care about our fans. We care about what you want to ask. We care about what you have to say. So whatever you need to say, just throw it out there, and we'll get to it as quickly as we can and the best to it and the most effective way we can. Dragon Viper has to show off his title. I don't know what he's won because he hasn't won crap. But anyway, so with that
Goldberg comment, you get stripped of your title, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. So, as we know on this network right now, we're having a lot of debates going on. But I think one thing that everybody would want to see, I think everybody, and we might make this a night to where Brandon Herrera has off work that he can be on the show. We should have our own on-air debates wrestling style. So we should all go and like a one-on-one debate, and then let our fans choose, or whatever. Have somebody that can be a judge and just say, hey, you know what? The winner is. Just go all free-for-all style debates. What do you guys think about that?
I like it. We had a little bit of that today with me and Brandon during our debate.
Yeah, but I think that it would be awesome to come on and do a free-for-all debate style.
Brandon retired from debating, though, so we're going to have to get somebody else.
But this is on the show, man. This is on the show.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Hey, I just can't wait to get our special guests here.
All right. So, with that being said, I want to just one more time mess around. Before we get to the shirts really quick, I will say, Nate, if you could please pull up Anchor so I can let everybody know about Anchor and say Anchor is a brilliant, brilliant way that if you cannot watch our show tonight, but you still want to listen to everything we had to say, well, Anchor's that awesome way. Now, you can't watch us live. You can't see us, but what you can do is you can listen to the audio version. So you just pull it up. And even if there's just one topic you want to listen to that we've talked about, you can fast forward through it, get to that topic and listen to it. Or even if you're seeing us now, you're like, well, I want to do what they're doing. How can I do that? Well, you can do it. It's simple. Anchor. Anchor is a great way of starting your own podcast. It gives you step-by-step on how to do it. It's so great. Get on there. Check it out. Check us out on Anchor. You'll really enjoy it. And then last but not least, Mess Around Dave, tell us how you can win one of those shirts.
You can win one of our awesome shirts by commenting on any of the shows we got going on the network and become the viewer of the month. Don't forget to like and share as well.
And absolutely. And then if you can't hop on and comment, but you still want one of those shirts, how can you do it?
Get a hold of anybody on the network, any one of us, and we can get an order for you, $14.95 plus shipping and handling. We'll get it to you ASAP.
ASAP. All right. So I hope everybody has a fantastic night. And last but not least, don't forget, if you smell what Between the Ropes is cooking. Have a good night.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.